A brand new order, an airline looking to expand its fleet in the future, and a company upset with the 777X. That's in today's aviation news recap, and why not begin with Cathay Pacific. They've become the latest major international airline to speak out about fresh delays and the overall impact being felt because of the 777X. The Hong Kong-based carrier wants its aircraft delivered on time. In my opinion, that's not necessarily an unrealistic expectation or desire, and is something that is promised by the aircraft manufacturers upon signing the rights. However, with time, actually getting planes on time has become less and less likely, and it becomes a shock if a plane is delivered to a company on the schedule initially outlined. As Danny Lee of Bloomberg reported, this isn't very reassuring for a company like Cathay Pacific. Comments from the airline's executives regarding the disappointment follows a celebration of many aircraft orders placed in recent years. Basically seeing key executives and local political parties all congregate in the same location to discuss the future outlook of this major airline. While the 777X wasn't included in that celebration, as this order dates back far before that, the airline has been committed to the long-haul jet for quite some time. However, this long-haul aircraft is seemingly plagued with issues, and there is no end in sight to its approval and first delivery delays. Cathay Pacific has 21 of these jets on order, while committing also to the direct rival in the A350-1000. This variant is already flying prominently with the airline, and we know to be a customer favourite. With that commitment to 21 units, the 777X will play an important role in the airline's long-term fleet, facilitating the retirement of older wide-bodies, while also allowing growth to occur. But the longer the delays rampage on, the longer the company is forced to adjust its plans to cope. Cathay Pacific isn't the only airline currently frustrated and equally disappointed by what has been happening with the 777X over the last 5 years. Arguably the most outspoken has been Emirates, the largest customer of the upcoming long-haul jet by Boeing. All of these frustrations and airlines being upset actually stems from Boeing only recently announcing that it would push back first delivery by another year to 2026, and a possible EIS, that is an entry into service after familiarization, won't occur until 2027. So as a result, Emirates and other airlines alike have spoken out. The airline has continuously expressed its frustrations and has now reached a point where it questions whether Boeing's timeline for deliveries has any meaning. I found this to be quite a pretty big statement to make. Ultimately, this stance also symbolizes the lack of trust that airlines such as Emirates now have in plane makers following their inability to get planes delivered on time. Meanwhile, Lufthansa has long been frustrated, not just over delays in acquiring the 777X, but for other aircraft programs. They're losing hundreds of millions per month because of the delays, which leads them to a less efficient operation as they're forced to rely more so on older planes for longer periods. In some positive news, EasterJet, a South Korean-based carrier, has confirmed its purchase of additional MAX jets as it looks to expand for the future. A purchase of new aircraft comes a matter of days after the airline, you may recall, unveiled prospective growth plans that it hoped to achieve, and followed it hitting 15 total units in its fleet. Steadily developing across recent years, EasterJet was clear that it hoped to continue charting a course for growth and serving the demand it had witnessed across its route network. While the airline strictly relies on the 737 family, it did outline its hopes to reduce the average age, which would only be done by acquiring further 737 MAXes. And the airline has now confirmed it'll purchase 12 additional 737-8 jets, part of the MAX series, and deliver them over the coming years. Thanks to this purchase and rather rapid delivery, the airline's fleet will almost double in the next 2 years, with it expected to reach 27 aircraft by the end of 2026. This target will be achieved through the delivery of 7 planes next year and then 6 units in 2026. But again, the delivery timeframe that has been outlined is very much subject to change. Unfortunately for customers such as EasterJet, a lot has changed for plane makers in recent years, and greater struggles are being experienced in actually having these planes delivered on time, as I've just taken a look at in the first story in today's proceedings that focused on the 777X at Cathay Pacific. As Boeing's output has spiraled to record low levels, fresh delays are being felt, making timelines hard to come by. However, EasterJet will remain optimistic that Boeing will be able to sort this out. The purchase is also a signal of intent for the South Korean company, which believes it's on the right path to continue growing and building upon a successful last couple of years following a restart of its operations which came in March 2023. In the last story, HK Express, part of the Cathay Group, well, they're looking to expand their fleet in a bold bid to increase traffic to and from their home of Hong Kong. However, one of those bold strategies involves the premise behind growth, which is the opposite of what maybe other airlines may be targeting. The carrier is looking to grow, but rather to sacrifice profitability in order to launch new routes and take on aircraft for the long-term benefits. HK Express has already been focused on improving its route network this year, with the number of locations served expanding quite significantly to break previous records. Furthermore, HK Express, well, its fleet has also developed, with the addition of new Airbus aircraft. The low-cost unit operates only with single-aisle jets from Airbus. Based on fleet data, they have 32 aircraft in service, 6 of which are listed as parked. The airline is committed to the previous generation of single-aisle jets, while also relying on the Neo, with data showing A321neos are in service, complementing 13 A321-200s. Meanwhile, there are A320neos and A320-200s. Looking ahead, HK Express firmly believes that its fleet number will increase significantly, with the expectation this will reach 40 by year end and 45 by the end of 2025. And after 2025, well, there will be the delivery of 17 more planes over a 3-year period, pretty much bringing us to the end of the decade. Ultimately, such a move focusing on sacrificing long-term profitability to grow from Hong Kong International has its risks. They believe, though, they're well positioned to make this move. The airline will be on the radar for many markets through investment in not just its planes but route network, and this is highlighted through its most recent continued expansion towards Japan, which now acts as one of its most important markets. While HK Express is being impacted by the Pratt & Whitney GTF engine crisis that has led to mass aircraft groundings, things are said to be improving, and there's newfound optimism. Furthermore, they know that if this weren't part of the equation, well, they would have grown even more thanks to the 5 A320neos that are currently grounded not being grounded in this ideal scenario. Hong Kong was one of the slowest markets to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, but as restrictions have eased in the last couple of years, airlines such as HK Express have long forgotten about recovery and are now hellbent on growing rapidly. That is going to conclude today's aviation recap. If you have any thoughts, you know the best place to leave them is down below in the comments. Please take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.